Okay, so please start writing down. Today we're going to cover chapter number 9, competitive factors. Yeah, and please make a note of this. Chapter number 9 will be replicated as it is in your professional level. पूरा का पूरा chapter, all the concepts will be replicated in your professional levels also. And professional levels में you will get questions from some of the concepts that we will do today. Okay, so today we'll touch the basics and obviously advanced level pe we will get into a lot more detail. So today's chapter is chapter number 9, competitive factors, and we're going to talk about 4 different frameworks. So we'll understand the frameworks and then we'll also understand how are they practically implemented and also use a lot of examples. Okay, so this is chapter number 9, competitive factors. Okay, now the first element that we're going to talk about today is Porter's 5 forces. So please make a note of this framework. Write down at the heading Porter's 5 forces. Yeah, and under the heading, please write down. I'll narrate and please make a note of this. Every company while doing business has to analyze. Every company while doing business has to analyze both the internal and external environment. Company while doing business have to analyze both their internal and external environment, and in the bracket after environment write down business environment. So this is not the air, water, land wala environment. This is the business environment that we're going to talk about. Okay, so Porter's 5 forces. So write down the second point. Porter's 5 forces will help the company. This is very important, so please make a note of it. Porter's 5 forces will help the company in analyzing the external environment, of so it will help the company to analyze the external environment of the industry, of the country. So दो ऑफ है, of the industry and of the country in which the company is operating. So while you're writing, I'll repeat, it will help the company to analyze the external environment of the industry, of the country in which the company is operating. So there is a use of country and there is a use of company also. So let's understand this with the help of an example. So let's say Honda Automobiles. Honda is a company in India. So when Honda has to plan their strategy, has to decide what to do, how to do, when to do, when they have to get answers to all those questions, they have to analyze the external environment. So what will Honda do? Honda will analyze the automobile industry, because Honda is a company in the automobile industry. So Honda will analyze the automobile industry of what? Of India. Yeah, because Honda is operating in India. So if Honda is operating in Japan, they will analyze the automobile industry of Japan. If Honda is operating in the US, they will analyze the automobile industry of US. Currently, for the purpose of discussion, we're talking about Honda in India. So Honda will do the Porter's 5 forces of the automobile industry of India, because they are doing business in India. Is it clear? So what did we write? The company will use the Porter's 5 forces to analyze the external environment of the industry. So what is the company? Honda. What is the industry? Automobile. Of the country. Which is the country here? India. Everyone clear on this? Quick response on the chat and then we'll get started in details. Okay, chaliye. Krish is sorted. Madhav, Shaina, Shanu. Okay, chaliye. Let's look at it. Now first let's look at the framework. So you will have to all draw the framework. So this is how the framework looks like. So in your registers, please start drawing the framework so that you know what are the 5 forces. So the first force that you have in blue, write down threat of new entrants. Draw 5 circles. All the arrows will be pointing towards the middle circle, which is rivalry against competitors. So I will keep telling you, draw the diagram and write it. Rest all the notes are in the slide. Okay. So blue box is threat of new entrants. The center box is rivalry against competitors. Threat of new entrants, rivalry against competitors. Green wala box at the bottom is threat of substitutes. Threat of substitutes. The box on the right in yellow is bargaining power of suppliers. Bargaining power of suppliers. And the box on the left in purple is bargaining power of buyers. So if you count, these are the 5 forces: threat of new entrants, bargaining power of suppliers, threat of substitutes, bargaining power of buyers, and rivalry against competitors. So this is the 5 forces. So what will Honda do? Honda will try to understand each of these forces for the automobile industry in India. Because unless and until they understand what is happening in the automobile industry, will they be able to take any decisions? The answer is no. So every year, once every year, companies will do all of this analysis. Now they can do it after 6 months also, they can do it after a quarter also, that is their call. But bare minimum companies ये framework को analyze करेंगे at least once every year. ठीक है? Okay. Now let's look at each of these forces one by one. So हमारा ये framework करने का what is the objective? The objective is we're trying to understand the external environment. So what is the external environment? Automobile industry in India. Now, when you analyze the external environment, yeah, what do you get? What will you get? What is my output going to be? Yeah, so when we do a framework in BT or you do a framework in any of the subjects going forward, you should always understand why are companies doing it? Why are you learning it? So one of the reasons we are learning it is when companies do the analysis of these factors, they will understand which factors are favorable for the company and which factors are unfavorable for the company. So whichever factor is favorable, I will try to take advantage of it. Whichever factor is unfavorable, I will have to try to mitigate it. So if I don't understand the factor, will I be able to take a decision? The answer is no. So we will first spend time understanding the factors. ठीक है चलिए let's look at the first factor, which is threat of new entrants. Now as the name suggests, new entrants, so what does it mean? I've given it to you in blue. Number of new companies entering the market. Which market? Automobile market of which country? India. तो हमारा पूरा जो analysis है, everything that we're trying to analyze will be focused on Honda for India and the automobile industry. So this is something you have to keep in your mind. Yeah. So threat of new entrants means how many more companies can enter the Indian automobile industry. Now, these companies could be domestic companies. These companies could be international companies also. Like, for example, Kia. Kia is not an Indian company. Kia is an international company. So, Kia has entered the Indian market to sell their cars. So, Kia is an international company entering India in the Indian automobile industry. Similarly, let's say Ola. Let's say Ola starts to manufacture cars, for example, hypothetically. So Ola is a Indian company entering the Indian automobile industry in India to manufacture cars. Okay, so more and more companies entering. So what are we talking about? Honda. So if more and more companies enter the Indian automobile industry, what will happen for Honda? Competition will increase. Yeah. So when new companies come in, Honda gets worried. What will happen? How will we do sales? What should we do? So they need to know which company is entering, what is the size of the company, what are their products, everything the company wants to understand. So this is factor number one, threat of new entrants. Now let's look at factor number two, which is substitutes. Now substitutes is a word that you will have read in your economics of class 11th and 12th. What is substitutes? Substitutes means number of products available in a particular category. So let's say you talk about Hindustan Unilever. Yeah, so for a minute I'm digressing from Honda, I'm going to Hindustan Unilever. Now when it comes to the soap category, Hindustan Unilever has multiple soaps in the same category. Every soap is a substitute for the other. So when customers come to, let's say, buy a Hindustan Unilever soap, they will go with different fragrances. So whoever like whatever fragrance, they will take that soap. Now, similarly, if you look at the automobile industry, yeah, so let's say today Honda has a SUV, Tata has a SUV, Mahindra has a SUV, Kia has a SUV, BYD has an SUV, MG has a SUV, every company has an SUV. Yeah, so when today let's say today I want to go and buy an SUV, what will I do? I will check out all SUVs. So what are the other SUVs doing for Honda? They're creating competition for the Honda SUV. So what does threat of substitutes means? Number of products available in a particular category. It could be company's product. Let's say Honda has two SUVs. So each of these SUVs will compete with each other. Or it could be a competitor product. So Honda's SUV competing with a Tata or a Mahindra SUV. Is everyone clear on the first two factors, new entrants and substitutes? Before I go on to the next two. Any doubts, any questions? Please ask. Okay, Madhav, Krish, ladies in the house, are we clear? Shaina, Shanu. Okay, chali. Let's look at factor number three. Now, the factor number three that we have is bargaining power of buyers. Now, when companies look at their buyers, they differentiate buyers into two categories: loyal buyers and disloyal buyers. Now, what do loyal buyers mean? Let's say I have a Honda car. I use the car for 5 years. Now I want to upgrade to a new car. So loyal customers will go to Honda. They will say, I had a Honda car. I want another Honda car. So they are loyal towards a brand. They are loyal towards a company. Now the percentage of loyal customers for every company is very low. Matlab, analyze yourself as a customer. Are you particular about any particular brand? The answer is no. Whichever brand gives you the best price, best quality, best features, you might go with that particular brand. Unless and until you say that no, I'm a Apple fan, I'm a Samsung fan, I'm a Honda fan, I'm a Maruti fan, whatever. So the percentage of loyal customers, so out of every 100 customers that a company has, 10 to 20% customers are likely to be loyal. And that is also not a guarantee. They're loyal today, tomorrow they become disloyal. That's absolutely fine. Everyone has a right to make their choices. Yeah. So loyal customers are good for the company. Disloyal customers are not good for the company because they could go to any other competitor. Yeah. So loyal customers will be 20%. Disloyal customers will be, let's say, 80%. So what does it mean? Bargaining power of buyers towards the company is unfavorable. तो अभी हमने क्या देखा? थ्रेट ऑफ न्यू एंट्रेंट्स होंडा के लिए अनफेवरेबल है बिकॉज मोर एंड मोर कंपनीज आर एंटरिंग द इंडियन मार्केट, सो कंपटीशन विल इंक्रीज. Threat of substitutes for Honda is also unfavorable because there are too many products in the same category. Similarly, when you look at your bargaining power of buyers, that is also unfavorable because 80% buyers, 80 to 90% buyers will be unloyal, disloyal to Honda, or for that matter, any other company. So total factors are how many? Five. Out of five, we've looked at three. All three are negative or unfavorable for Honda. Now let's look at factor number four, which is bargaining power of suppliers. Now, when you look at suppliers, when companies analyze suppliers, this is something we covered in chapter 5 also when we did stakeholder analysis. वहां पे we looked at that suppliers can also be divided into two categories. What are the categories? Category number one is generic suppliers versus niche suppliers. Now, when it comes to a car, niche supplier means company which is supplying engine. Engine के लिए company will have generally one supplier only. So Honda will have only one company providing engines to them because engine में you have the technology. So you can't share your technology with multiple suppliers. But when it comes to, let's say, seat covers, when it comes to, let's say, screws, when it comes to, let's say, tires, they could have multiple suppliers. Now, generic suppliers will have low bargaining power. They will not be able to outsmart the company. But niche suppliers will have high bargaining power because they know that, okay, company is procuring all engines for me, from me. So today, if I want to increase the price, I will have the opportunity to do that. But let's say a company is providing tires. Let's say C8 is providing tires to Honda. If C8 says I want to increase the price, what will Honda do? They will say, okay, Tata, bye bye. I am going to Apollo. Yeah. So with generic suppliers, because the company has more options, it is favorable for them. But with niche suppliers, because they have less options, it is unfavorable for them. So threat of new entrants, unfavorable. Bargaining power of buyers, unfavorable. Threat of substitutes, unfavorable. Bargaining power of suppliers may generic suppliers favorable, niche suppliers unfavorable. And the final factor that we have is rivalry against competitors. Now, rivalry, competition in any country, in any industry is very high. Can all of you think for a few seconds and tell me any industry that comes to your mind wherein you think that competition is less? Pick up any random industry. Banking, it's high. Automobile, it's high. E-commerce, it is high. IT, it is high. Manufacturing, it is high. Consumer goods, it is high. Fast moving consumer goods, very high. Mobile phones, very high. So there is no industry where competition is less. So now if you look at it, out of these 5 factors, 4.5 factors are unfavorable. Why? Threat of entrants, unfavorable. Bargaining power of buyers, unfavorable. Substitutes, unfavorable. Rivalry against competitors, unfavorable. And when it comes to niche suppliers, bargaining power of suppliers is also unfavorable. So companies are doing this analysis. Why? Because they want to understand what's happening in the industry. Once they understand, they know that, okay, 4.5 factors are against me. So what do I do? Can I sit and do nothing? The answer is no. I will have to prepare some strategies to counter them. It's like saying that today you have a weakness. Can you do nothing about that weakness? The answer is no. Your competitors will try to take advantage of it. So companies have to ensure that one, they understand, second, they do something about it. Yeah, so is everyone clear about the Porter's 5 forces? Any doubts, any questions? And then we'll go to how companies manage this. But before we go there, let's understand if there are any questions. Okay, Krish is clear. Anji, jaldi se response, one more, and then I move forward. Okay, chaliye, Shaina is also clear. Now let's look at this in a little more detail. So we will now talk about Honda. If Honda is doing this analysis and they identify that this is the situation, what will they do? I'll give you certain examples so that you get a full perspective. Okay. Now this is how your Porter 5 forces look like. All of you already drawn the diagram also. Now if you look at it, everything that is written in blue is what we've just discussed. Okay, now we're trying to build on it. Now let's say threat of new entrants for Honda is unfavorable. What does it mean? Too many competitors, more companies entering the Indian automobile market. So what will happen? Sales of Honda will go down. Market share of Honda will go down. If sales go down, what will happen? Profit will go down, revenue will go down, and that is a cause of concern for Honda. Similarly, if you look at your bargaining power of buyers or customers, they mean the same thing, by the way. Yeah. So what happens here is you have less loyal customers and more disloyal customers. So whatever company has analyzed, they're trying to summarize it. So everything that you see in red is the summary of the discussion, of the analysis. Similarly, when you talk about substitutes, what does it mean for Honda? Too many substitutes available in every car segment. Small car may multiple products. Sedan may multiple products. SUV may multiple products. Electric vehicles, multiple products. Similarly, when you look at your bargaining power of suppliers, what did we say? Supplier of engine, high bargaining power because I'm the only supplier. So I will try to act smart. I will try to act special. But whereas when you talk about other suppliers, because there are more suppliers available, I can switch. So my bargaining power is low. And when it comes to competition, extremely high competition in the Indian automobile industry. If we start counting right now, we can count about 10 companies that are there in India, and every company is manufacturing cars. and every company is manufacturing all kinds of cars. And maybe after the class, you can write down the names of those 10 companies also. So why am I denoting everything in red? Because red indicates that everything is unfavorable for Honda. And we are only talking about Honda in India. This could be a situation for Honda in Japan. This could be a situation for Honda in the US. This could be a situation for Honda in the European market also. But they will have to do different things for different countries. Clear है? So मुझे factor समझ में आ गया. I know how it is impacting my business and who am I? I am Honda. Now let's look at some examples of how Honda will try to mitigate some of these risks. And these are just some examples. Okay. Okay. Now, when it comes to threat of new entrants, now threat of entrants, matlab kya? Companies are increasing. So today, if there are 10 or companies in the automobile sector, tomorrow they could be 12, 15, 20. Also, this number will continue to grow because India is an open economy. So how can Honda reduce competition? How can Honda reduce the number of companies? Honda will start acquiring some of the smaller companies. So recently, if you read in the news, I think there are three companies. One is Honda, the other is Nissan, and I think third is Mitsubishi. They're all merging together to become one big company. So imagine if Nissan was in India, if Mitsubishi is in India, if Honda is in India, all three combined to become one company. Suddenly, what happens? Earlier we had three companies, now it is one company. So two competitors eliminated. So you can either merge with another company to become bigger company, or you can acquire another company to become a bigger company. So when you acquire or merge, what happens? The number of companies reduce. So this is one thing that Honda could do to avoid or to mitigate the risk of threat of new entrants. Now, similarly, if you look at it, let's talk about bargaining power of buyers. Now, let's say Madhav, Krish, Shaina, Shanu, Akhil, everyone has a Honda car today. We will use the car for at least 5 to 10 years, if not more. Now, what will Honda do? Honda will start some loyalty programs that after 5 years, after 10 years, if you want to upgrade to a new car, you can come to us. Why? Because one, we will take your old car, we will give you some exchange bonus. Because you are an old Honda customer, we will also give you some additional discounts. And because you're upgrading to a new car, we will also give you some gifts. So what will Honda have to do? Honda will have to come up with schemes to lure the customers. Customer आज की डेट में let's accept the fact wherever we get more, we go there. Is it true for all of us? Quickly on the chat, yes or no? As customers, do we want more? And whichever company gives us more, we go with that company. ऐसा ही होता है. That is why Amazon is always running sales. Without sales, people will not buy. Imagine Amazon not running a sale and Flipkart running a sale. What will we do? We will go to Flipkart. कोई भी product मिले, कुछ भी मिले, I just need discounts, I need just gifts. Yeah, so Honda will also have to do something like that. Now, whatever I am giving you in green is just an example. Honda could do many more things. And obviously not just Honda, other companies can also do a lot of other things. Okay, now let's talk about substitutes. What will the company do here? They will expand the dealer network. Why do you think Maruti has a very high market share? Maruti showrooms are there in tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, all cities, including villages. Do you think a Mercedes or an Audi or a BMW or for that matter a Honda or for that matter, let's say a BYD or an MG have showrooms in villages? The answer is no. So if I want to sell more cars, what will I do? I will make my car available to more and more people. How is Ola growing? Ola is setting up showrooms in every nook and corner of the city. Wherever you see, you should get an Ola. Wherever you get an Ola, you should be able to buy an electric scooter. Wherever you're able to buy an electric scooter, what will happen? Company ka revenue and profits will go up. So if I have to counter competition, I need to have something different to the competitor. So what is the USP of Maruti? Dealer network. If Maruti has 10 lakh showrooms, Hondas and Hyundais of the world will not even have half of those showrooms. They can have X number of cars, but if your showrooms are not there, who will be able to sell? The company which has showrooms. So this is how Maruti will be able to counter the threat of substitutes. Now, what the company actually does, that is their decision. I'm just bringing different perspectives to you so that all of you can understand it. Now, when it comes to bargaining power of suppliers, what will Honda do? They will do two things. Now, when it comes to your niche supplier, they will say, okay, let us mutually work together for long term. So Honda will go tell the engine supplier, okay, I am willing to sign with you a 10-year contract. I will not leave you, you will not leave me. Because understand, supplier is getting all business from Honda and Honda is getting all engines from the supplier, so they have to work as partners. So if I take care of the supplier, supplier will take care of me or vice versa. And when it comes to generic suppliers, if some supplier tries to act smart, change the supplier. Yeah. And finally, if you look at what is the strategy to overcome competition, let's say India may competition increases so much that Honda find it very difficult to do business. And let's say after 5 years, there are 50 companies manufacturing cars in India. Honda will be like, okay, I don't want to focus only on India. I am doing business in India. I may not be able to become the biggest player in India, but I want to grow my revenue and profit. So let me go to some other countries. Yeah. So depending on what is the risk, depending on what is the factor, depending on whether it is favorable or unfavorable, companies will have to take decisions to overcome the unfavorable factors and obviously to take advantage of the favorable factors. अगर अभी आप देखोगे, in case of this example that we've discussed, there is no factor which is favorable. So for every factor, we have a risk in red. For every risk in red, we have a counter strategy in green. So that is how companies analyze it, understand it, evaluate it, and then finally take the decisions in terms of what to do. Is everyone clear on this? Honda ka example is clear to everyone. Any doubts, any questions? And obviously, you can do this exercise for any company for that matter. So I find BT and SBL, which is a professional exam, very intriguing because I can pick up any random company and I can try to create a framework for that particular company. So tomorrow, if you want to really do wonders in this particular subject, what you should do when you have free time, pick up the Porter's 5 forces model, pick up any company. Let's pick up Mama Earth. Let's pick up an HCL Tech. Let's pick up Infosys. Let's pick up an Siemens. Try to create a Porter's 5 forces for that particular company. Clear hai? Shaina and Shanu, are we good? Doubts, questions? Sorted? Chali, perfect. So this was framework number one, which is your Porter's 5 forces. And Porter's 5 forces, I will reiterate using the heading on top. Understand which of the external factors are favorable, unfavorable to the company, and plan the strategy accordingly. Okay? Okay, chaliye. Now let's move on to the second framework of the day. So please write down the heading. The second framework is called Porter's value chain. And in the bracket, you can write the short form. The short form is PVC, Porter's value chain. So we'll try to understand the Porter's value chain in terms of how things can work. Okay. Okay, chaliye. Now let's look at the Porter's value chain. So again, Porter's value chain का purpose क्या है? We'll come to the purpose after we look at the framework. So this is how your Porter's value chain looks like. I want all of you to draw this diagram. I'll keep talking about it and uske basis pe keep drawing the diagram. So this diagram is, or this framework is divided into 3 parts. I'll keep moving my cursor so that you get to see. So the section at the bottom, which is your multicolored section, that has 5 components. Pehla component I'll read out so that you can write. First component is called inbound logistics. So we are focusing on the bottom section, which has 5 subsections. So first is inbound logistics. I will explain everything individually also. Currently, I'm just reading out so that you can all draw the diagram. And while I'm explaining, if you want, you can build your notes. Second is operations, the thing that is in blue. After operations, you have outbound logistics, the thing which is in beige or peach, whatever color that is visible to you on the slide. After outbound logistics, number 4 is marketing and sales. Marketing and sales. And the last one in purple is after sales service. You can write service or you can write after sales service. They mean the same thing. So inbound logistics number 1, operations number 2, outbound logistics number 3, marketing and sales number 4, and service or after sales service number 5. These 5 activities are called as primary activities. This is how the framework looks like. This is the nomenclature that is coming from the framework. Here on top, you've got 4 activities in green, 4 sections in green. I'll read out, write them. Once you complete with the diagram, then obviously I'll start explaining every component one by one. So first element is firm infrastructure. Abhi likh lo, I'll explain. Firm infrastructure. Firm is FIRM. Firm. Firm means a company. Company infrastructure. Second is human resource management. We're looking at the green section on top. Third is technology development. So firm infrastructure, human resource management, technology development, and the last is procurement. Now, these 4 elements are referred to as support activities. You can call them support activities. You can also call them as secondary activities. They mean the same thing. Some books say support, some books say secondary. So the bottom ones are primary and the top ones are called support or secondary. And the arrow that you see here is referred to as margin. Clear? Everyone's drawn the diagram. Everyone's clear of the different components that I've just reiterated before we get into the explanation. Let's see your responses on the chat. Okay, Krish ka diagram is done. Let's wait. Madhav, Shaina, Shanu, once you're done, just say a yes on the chat and then I'll move forward. Okay, chali, everyone's done. Now let's go activity by activity. Now, if you look at your primary activities, if you start from 1, go up to 5, what are your primary activities doing? Yeah, so please write down primary activities, put a hyphen and write down. Primary activities help the company. Primary activities help the company in converting their raw material. Primary activities help the company in converting their raw material into finished products. And selling them to the customer. Converting raw material into finished products and selling them to the customer. So company का revenue कहाँ से आएगा? From the primary activities, because where is sales happening? In the primary activities. So raw material will come, raw material will get converted into a finished good. Finished good will be sold to the customer. Customer will pay me money, so I will get my revenue and profits from my primary activity. We will look at individual primary activities also, but currently we're just focusing on the primary and support. Next, write down support activities. I'll give you a small definition for support activities also. So please write down support activities operate at the back end. Support activities operate at the back end and help the company. Support activities run at the back end and help the company to manage their primary activities. To manage their primary activities. Also write down support activities are cost for the company. Support activities are cost for the company and do not directly generate any revenue. Support activities are cost for the company and do not generate any direct revenue. It's like saying that you are pursuing ACCA. So who are you? You are the primary activity, because ultimately you will attend the classes, you will give the exam, you will qualify, you will get a job. But your parents, your friends, your teachers, everything is working with you at the back end. They are supporting you so that you can achieve your goals. Ultimately, who will get salary? You. But who will benefit from it? Everyone. So support activities are people at the back end. Primary activities are activities in the front end. Okay. Now let's go activity by activity. So the first activity is inbound logistics. As the word suggests, inbound. Inbound means it is dealing with raw material coming into the factory. So bringing the raw material, checking the raw material, storing the raw material, all of those are part of your inbound logistics. Can I manufacture finished good without raw materials? The answer is no. So I need to first get my raw material to the factory. Yeah. Okay. Second activity is operations. So operations means raw material will be converted into finished goods. So raw material will come to the factory. It will go to the plant and machinery. From the plant and machinery, people will run the plant and machinery, and ultimately what will happen? You will get a finished good. Third element that you have is outbound logistics. So outbound logistics means your finished goods are ready to be shipped to the customer. So delivering to the wholesaler, retailer, and customer, that is part of your outbound logistics, which means taking your finished product towards the customer. Inbound may raw material comes into the factory, outbound may finished goods go to the customer. Why to the customer? Because customers need to buy. Only when they buy, I will make my revenue. Fourth activity is marketing and sales. Obviously, that's self-explanatory. Your advertising, your marketing campaigns, those are done to create an interest in the customer. So when you create an interest in the customer starts buying the product. Yeah. And after the customer has bought your product, you also need to provide the customer after sales services. It could be an annual maintenance contract, it could be installation, it could be repairs, it could be anything, so that the product continues to run. Yeah. Clear? So inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and finally your after sales service. Are the primary activities clear to everyone? Let's go to the chat and check. Anji, everyone clear? Any doubts? Any questions? And then I'll probably move to the secondary or support activities. Chaliye, theek hai. Let's look at your secondary activities now. Now, secondary activities, first is your infrastructure, firm infrastructure. What does this talk about? This talks about your organization structure, whether it is functional, divisional, whether it is tall, flat, whether it is your centralized or decentralized. How is the organization set up? Second component that you have is human resource management, which means people of the organization. How many people? What are their skills? What is their knowledge? What is their experience? What is their qualification? Everything to do with people. Who will do sales? People. Who will convert raw material into finished product? People through machines. Yeah, who will get raw material to the company? People. So it is everything about people. So if HR does not bring in the right people to the organization, will your primary activities work? The answer is no. Third element that you have is technology development, which means how much technology is the company using. It could be hardware, it could be software, it could be robots, it could be machines, it could be artificial intelligence, anything from a technology point of view. There is no company in the world today which is not using some technology. We are also currently using technology which is Zoom. We are also using a technology called internet. We are also using a technology called Wi-Fi. And the final element that you have is procurement, which means there is a procurement department in the company which helps the company buy everything they need, whether it is raw material, whether it is plant and machinery, whether it is furniture and fixture, whether it is anything that the company needs. Yeah. So firm infrastructure, human resource management, technology development, and obviously procurement. These are your support or secondary activities. Everyone clear on this? Any doubts, any questions? Let's check the chat and then we will move forward. Sanji, everyone clear? Doubts, questions? Krish is sorted. Chali, let's wait for one more. Okay, chalo. Now, if you look at it, primary activities, if I can give you an analogy to understand it better, these are like the actors of the movie that you see on the screen. But do actors make the entire movie? Can they make the entire movie on their own? The answer is no. Who will help them create the movie? The directors, the producers, the technicians, and the crew members of the movie. So they are all your support staff. So support staff, support activities. Primary activities, people who are visible to you, processes that are visible to the customer. Customer किससे product लेके जाएगा? Salesperson से. So if the salesperson does not do a good job, even the best quality product will not sell. Clear? So this is how you look at your Porter's value chain. Now let's move forward with Porter's value chain to understand why are we doing it. So Porter's value chain, you know what are primary activities, you know secondary activities. I've also given this to you on the slide for your reference. Now, what is the purpose of the Porter's value chain? क्यों करते हैं? And this is something, this is the framework that companies use on an ongoing basis. The purpose of the Porter's value chain is to identify within the organization whatever we are doing, is it adding value or not? If it is not adding value, what are we doing? We are wasting time, effort, and money. So Porter's value chain will help you go activity by activity. They will help you look at inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, HR, procurement. We will go process by process. We will see the different steps in the process. We will see which process is adding value, which process is not adding value. Whichever process is not adding value, what we will do? We will try to eliminate that process. When we eliminate the process, what happens? We save on time, we save on people, we'll save on money. Now, when you save on time, effort, and money, what happens? Your cost comes down. And when your cost comes down, what happens? Your company's margins increase. So the purpose of Porter's value chain is to identify non-value added activities, either individually in a process or in the entire chain. I'll give you an example after this also. Now, once you identify the non-value added activity, what do you need to do? You need to either reduce it or you need to try to eliminate it. Yeah, okay. Now, before we go forward, let's take an example. And please have your calculators ready. Let's say a company needs to hire 100 people. Yeah, please make a note of the fact because you'll have to do some very basic and simple calculation and you'll understand how Porter's value chain helps. Let's say the HR has to hire 100 people. 80 people they will hire from consultants. So write down 80 from consultants and 20 people they will hire from employee referral. So Madhav is working in my company, for example. Madhav will refer Krish. I will interview Krish. If Krish is a good candidate, I will hire Krish. So 20 people will be hired through employee referral. 80 people will be hired through consultants. Total people to be hired 100, 80 consultants, 20 employee referral. Yeah. Okay. Now, when you hire an employee from a consultant, let's say you have to pay the consultant a commission of 20,000 rupees per employee. So make a note of it, 20,000 commission per employee to the consultant. And when you hire an employee through an employee referral, you give the employee 5,000 rupees additional bonus, additional incentive. So 80,000, 80 people from consultant, 20,000 per person, 20 people from employee referral, 5,000 per employee. So please tell me, what will be the cost of hiring 100 people? I've given you all the facts. You have all the numbers with you. Please do the calculation and put in your number on the chat. Let's see what calculations you all of you do. And everyone try, because that is how you will understand. Okay. 26 lakhs. थोड़ा सा नंबर मुझे क्रिश ऑफ लग रहा है इन टर्म्स ऑफ द कॉस्ट. 26 lakhs नहीं हो सकता. एक बार रिकैलकुलेट करो. 20 employees, 5,000 per employee, that's the commission. And 80 employees, 20,000 is the commission. Hanji Krish, now this number looks more reasonable, 17 lakhs. Okay, Madhav, Shaina, Shanu, please calculate so that I know everyone has got the same number. If there is a difference, then obviously I will explain. Yeah, so please put in your numbers, everyone. Krish has put in his numbers. Let's see. हाँ जी, have you calculated? इतना टाइम नहीं लगना चाहिए to be honest. Okay, Shaina has got 17. That justifies Krish. Okay, Madhav and Shanu, please quickly. इतना बड़ा calculation नहीं है. 80 multiplied by 20,000, 20 multiplied by 5,000. Add the two, you should get about 17 lakhs. Okay, chali. I think Madhav and Shanu, and I'm not sure if you are there or attentive. So let's continue with this discussion. Okay, so अभी आपने देखा, to hire 100 people, the company will have to incur 17 lakhs as the cost. This is only cost. Over and above the cost, time, effort, everything. Also keep in mind, when you hire employees from consultants, management has to put in a lot of time, because consultants क्या करते हैं? They only send resumes. So you have to read the resumes, you have to filter the candidates, you have to call them for interview, you have to do multiple rounds of interview, and then finally the employee will join. But when an employee refers another employee, they already know the work. So they will refer one or two employees, they will be good employees. So hiring in case of employee referral becomes faster. Okay, okay. Now let's say I am doing Porter's value chain and I'm trying to go through the HR process, and I see that, okay, it takes me about 16 lakhs to hire 100 people, plus the time, plus the effort, everything. And let's say I want to reduce this cost. Let's say I want to reduce the time it takes to hire people. Let's say I want to hire good quality people, and I want to hire people faster. Yeah. So if I hire people faster, people will join faster. When people join faster, obviously they will start working for the company, and company will be able to achieve their goals. Yeah. Okay. So when I review this HR process, I make a small change. So दोबारा से facts and figures लिखिए. I need to hire 100 employees. This time I am saying that going forward, I will hire 60 employees from consultants. 60 employees from consultants and 40 employees through employee referral. 60-40. पहले क्या था? 80-20. Now we have 60-40. 60 consultant, 40 employees. Amount that I will pay to a consultant is 20,000. पहले भी 20 था, अभी भी 20 है. पहले भी employee को I was giving, let's say, 5,000. This time I am saying I will give the employees 6,000 as referral bonus. तो पहले 5,000 per employee था, 6,000 per employee हो गया. Now, based on these new numbers, tell me the cost of hiring. Tell me the cost of hiring 100 people. Shanu and Madhav, I need responses from you as well, so that I know that you are attentive and doing the calculations. Chaliye, let's see. Quickly calculate करिए. 60 Consultants, 40 employees, 20,000 commission to consultants and 6,000 bonus to employees. Okay, Krish has calculated 14,40,000. Okay, let's wait. So 60 multiplied by 20,000 is about 12 lakhs. Yeah, and 40 multiplied by 6,000 will be 2,40,000. So 12 plus 240 will be 1440. So I have reconciled my number with Krish, but let's wait if Shaina, Shanu, and Madhav also get the same number. Okay, Madhav's got 1440. Shanu and Shaina, are you still doing it? Okay, chaliye. 1440, all of you have got it. Now, if you look at it, before I made the change, what was my cost of hiring 100 employees? 17 lakhs. After I have made the change, what is my cost of hiring? 14,40,000, which means making this change, I'm able to save a cost of 2,60,000, which is just the cost. I will have to see all the benefits that I get after making the change. So first benefit is I am able to save cost. Second benefit, employees that are referring will be more motivated because pehle they were getting 5,000 as referral bonus. Now they're getting 6,000 as referral bonus. So I'm able to earn more. When your friends join you in the same organization, your level of motivation also goes up. That's also a benefit. 40 people are coming from employee referral, which means their hiring will be faster. Pehle 20 employees were hired. Now 40 are hiring. So 40 will join the company faster. If they join the company faster, they will start working for company goals. So if you look at all of this, just by making a small change in the process, time has reduced, cost has reduced, motivation has increased, morale has increased, and company will be able to achieve their goals faster. Yeah, so this is how you can use Porter's value chain for every individual activity. Study the activity, whatever you think can be improved, improve it, and when you improve it, your organization benefits. So after implementing Porter's value chain, companies become lean and agile. It's like saying that all of you are overweight. For example, when you shed off certain kgs from your body, what happens? You become lean, your stamina increases, your health gets better, you're able to move faster. So that is when organization. So if organization also reduces their baggage, what is the baggage for an organization? Cost, wastage, effort, time. If they're able to reduce all of this, what will happen? The organization will gain competitive advantage. Every company is trying to do this at the current point. Zepto is trying to do it. Swiggy is trying to do it. Lenskart is trying to do it. The large cap companies, Tatas, Mahindras, every company is trying to improve their processes, make them efficient, make them lean, make them agile. Because if the organization is agile, it will be able to run faster. So cost goes down, profit goes up. Imagine you are able to deliver goods to the customer faster. What will happen? Customers will be happy. More customers will order. I'll give you another example. I think this is again a McDonald's example. So they once did an advertisement. So let's say the McDonald's burger takes about 50 seconds to make, hypothetically. I don't know the exact time it takes to make a burger. Now they improvised their process, which reduced the time to make a burger. Earlier, the burgers were being made in 50 seconds. After the change, the burgers started being made in about 35 seconds or 30 seconds. So McDonald's did a marketing campaign. They said, your burger, your favorite burger is 20 seconds closer to you. Your favorite burger is 20 seconds closer to you, which means today, if you go to a McDonald's store, order a burger, you will get the burger in 30 seconds. So every customer has to now wait 20 seconds less. When I have to wait less, what happens? It gives you the psychological satisfaction. कुछ तो fast हो रहा है. I'm getting some benefit. And when I get a feeling that I'm getting some benefit, whether it is time, effort, money, whatever, I feel happy. And what they saw was because customers were getting their burgers faster, they were ordering more. So customers happy, good for McDonald's. Ordering more, good for McDonald's. More orders, more revenue. More revenue, more profit. And करा क्या? सिर्फ process में इतना change करा that the time to manufacture your burger goes down from 50 seconds to 30 seconds. Simple. So everyone clear on Porter's value chain? Doubts, questions? Okay. Chaliye. So we've covered the second framework. So first was five forces. Second was your Porter's value chain. So how many of you want to break for like 5 minutes, or are you okay to continue? I am okay either ways. Continue करें. Guys, yes and no लिखना है. Okay, चलिए continue करते हैं. Just go with the first response because getting a yes or no from all of you is becoming a slightly painful process. ठीक है, चलो. Let's look at the next framework, which is SWOT analysis. I'm sure all of you have heard about SWOT analysis at some point in time. Does anyone know the full form of SWOT? If yes, you can unmute yourself. You can also put it on the chat, whatever works for you better. Okay, Shanu says strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Perfect. Yes, SWOT stands for strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Now let's look at them one by one. Now, what is strength? Strength is which exists today and it is related to the company, because kiska strength hai? It is the company's strength. So today, if I ask you what are your strengths, you will say I'm good in communication, I'm good in creativity, etc., etc. So strength exists today as on date, and it is yours or it is the company's strength. Similarly, if you look at weakness, आजकल weakness को we call it as an area of improvement or development area. But what is a weakness? Weakness is also current and related to the company. So like you have some strengths, you will also have some weaknesses. Now, what is important for the company to do? First is company should know what is my strength, what is my weakness. Is knowing enough? The answer is no. You need to do something about it. So what will the company do? When it comes to strength, companies and organizations will try to take as much advantage as possible through these. So let's say you've got very good analytical ability. Let's say you're very good in communication. Would you use communication at the time of interview? The answer is yes. Would you use communication to create some content? The answer is yes. So you will try to use your strength for your advantage so that you get benefited. Similarly, companies will use their strengths to their advantage. Similarly, when you talk about weaknesses, you don't have to draw this or write this. This is there in the slide and you will have it in the LMS also. Second element is when you have a weakness, this is very important. Organizations will try to mitigate them as much and as soon as possible. Why? Because if you don't mitigate your weakness, if you don't overcome your weakness, your competitors will try to take advantage of them. A very simple example. How many of you know that the Auto Expo, India Mobility Expo has started on 18th? Is anyone watching the new?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I
Krish
am
is watching it.
going, sir.
Acha, okay, perfect. Now, if you look at it, till a few days back, one of the weaknesses for Maruti Just to kind of put things in perspective, was Maruti did not have an electric vehicle. Honda has it, Tata has it, Kia has it, MG has it, Mahindra has it. So what was happening? Any customer who wanted to buy an electric vehicle would go to any company except Maruti, because Maruti does not have an electric vehicle. So that is weakness for Maruti. Other companies were trying to take advantage of it. Why? By telling the customer, you know what, they don't have a electric car, you can come to us. And customers were going to them. So what did Maruti do? They've launched the electric version of Grand Vitara. So it's the first electric car of the Maruti as an organization. So weakness tha, they worked on it. Today they have a final product and they've also launched that particular product. Now, can other companies take advantage of this weakness? The answer is no. Maruti will say they have an electric car, we have an electric car. Simple. Now customers have to decide which electric car they have to buy. So strengths is my strength, so I will always try to take advantage of it. So let's say Tata's have an electric car, they were taking advantage of it. Buy more, buy more, buy more, because other companies don't have it. Maruti had a weakness. They did not have electric cars, so customers were going to other brands. Now today, Tatas and Marutis are placed at the same level. Both of them have electric car. Now Tatas will say we have electric cars in different segments. Maruti has an electric car only in the SUV segment. So now this is a new kind of a weakness. So strength for one company, weakness for another. Yeah, so that is why it is very important for companies to continuously overcome their weaknesses. It is very important for all of you to also start working on your areas of improvement. If you start today, 2 years later, that area of improvement could become a strength for you. So that is strengths and weakness. Now let's talk about opportunities. Now, what are opportunities? Opportunities are futuristic. They can be an opportunity that a company creates for itself, or an opportunity can be created by the external environment also. I'll give you an example. Let's say Tata is the first company. I'm just hypothetically building up examples for you to understand. So let's say Tata is the first company to invent an electric vehicle. Now, when they invent an electric vehicle, does that create an opportunity for Tata? The answer is yes, because now they will be able to sell those electric vehicles. Other companies won't have it. I have it. When I sell, what is the opportunity? More customers, more sales, more revenue, more profit. Now, let's say all companies in India are only manufacturing petrol and diesel cars. Nobody has an electric car. Government of India announces a scheme. If you start manufacturing electric vehicles, we will reduce the GST on that vehicles from X percentage to X percentage. Or let's say they say that the tax on electric vehicles will be 0. Now, what has the government done? Created an opportunity for the company. So either the company can create an opportunity for itself, or other variables can create an opportunity for the company. Similarly, if you look at the threats, threats are also future. Something can happen in future. Something can go wrong in future. Oil prices in the next 2 years can increase so much that people will stop buying petrol and diesel cars. There is a new trend amongst your generation. As per data, your generation doesn't want to buy cars. Why? Because it is like parking, maintenance, insurance, petrol, drive, everything. They like, if you want to travel, we will get an Ola or an Uber, we will travel. So what is the threat? If people stop buying cars, will automobile companies be able to do the sales? The answer is no. So threats could also be in the future like an opportunity, but threats will be more from other variables. Company will not create a threat for themselves. Will you create a negative environment for yourself? The answer is no. Somebody else might do something because of which it could become negative for you. Now, when it comes to opportunities, what do the companies want to do? They want to implement the opportunities as quick as possible. So when they implement, their goodwill will increase, their brand will become stronger, their market share will increase, their sales will increase. their profits will increase. So every company wants to implement opportunities quick. Do it today, do it today, do it tomorrow, as early as possible. When it comes to threats also, the company would try to mitigate the threat as much as possible, as soon as possible. So if tomorrow they know that the price of petrol is going to increase, what will the Indian oil companies do? They will procure oil from Russia today. They will not wait for the price to increase. If the price increase, what happens? Your cost goes up, profit goes down. So SWOT analysis, if you look at it, it is like the report card of the company. I need to know my strengths so that I can take advantage of them. I need to know my weaknesses so that I can mitigate them, counter them. I need to know my opportunities so that I can implement them and benefit from it. I need to know my threats so that I can reduce the risk, reduce the negative impact of that situation which might come. It's like saying that recently, if you heard the news, there is a new virus that has started to come in China, HPMB or HMPV, I think. So suddenly, when the news comes in, people have started becoming more careful. Suddenly, masks are on, sanitizers are on. Why? Because people are trying to take precautions. They don't want to leave it till the end. Acha, aega, dekhenge, and then we'll decide what to do. Nahi. When it comes to threats, you have to be more cautious because they can dent you more. So strengths, weakness, opportunities, threats. So strengths को leverage, weaknesses mitigate, opportunities implement, threats also mitigate. Yeah, and if you talk to some people in the industry or if you try to ever implement this framework after you get a job, people will say weaknesses are also like risk. Yes, they are risk. Threats are also like risk. And what do you do when you have a risk? You try to reduce the risk. You try to mitigate the risk so that the risk should not hamper you. Yeah. Now, when companies prepare their SWOT analysis, they look at some of these areas highlighted in the right in blue. So I've given you a list. This is not a comprehensive list, but obviously these are areas that will help you identify what is the strength, what is the weakness, where is the opportunity, where is the threat. So it could be based on the history of the company, business model, financials, employees, suppliers, customer, health and safety, etc., etc. Clear? So companies keep looking at their SWOT analysis at least once every year. How many strengths have I developed? How many weaknesses have I improved on? How many opportunities have I implemented? And how many threats have I mitigated? Because when you do all of this, you know that as a company, you are progressing. Everyone clear with SWOT analysis? Doubts, questions, any clarifications, any point of views? And please make sure that after this session is over, we will be doing the last framework right after this. After this session is over, during the week, please revise, listen to the video recording and complete the questions of this chapter on priority so that you remember it and you're able to use it. अभी आप लोगों का एक weakness क्या है? People who are at least preparing for the BT exam is you are creating a backlog. We are on chapter number 9, for example, in the class. You are on chapter number 4 or 5. That's a weakness. Strength क्या होता? Moment we complete a chapter, your questions and study text, everything is done. So you have all the reasons to overcome your weakness by clearing your backlog. I've just kind of related it to your current situation. Individuals never prepare a SWOT analysis, generally companies do, but for the purpose of understanding, you can implement SWOT for your own self also. Like what is your strength? Maybe you are intelligent. I was reading LinkedIn, there is a child in India, he's just 7 years old. He has a intelligent quotient of 146. At the age of 7, he has started performing surgeries. So it's like he's God gifted. So uska strength is his intellectual ability. Clear? Okay, chaliye, let's move on to the last framework for this particular chapter. So please write this down. Porter's generic strategies. And the short form for this that is generally used is PGS. Porter's generic strategies. Yeah. So after you've written the heading, just write down one line. Porter's generic strategies helps the company. Porter's generic strategies helps the company to segment the market. To segment the market. मार्केट के ब्रैकेट में लिख लेना customers. Porter's generic strategies helps the company to segment their market. Market is like customers, and decide on a pricing strategy. And decide on a pricing strategy. Okay, so the frameworks that we're doing today, Porter's 5 forces. So again, it is from Porter, Porter's value chain, Porter's generic strategies, Porter. So there are some more frameworks of Michael Porter. They will come to you in SBL. Some of them will repeat, some of them will be new. Okay, chaliye, let's understand Porter's generic strategies. Now, if you look at it, first thing is when companies decide. So every company makes some goods and services, products and services. Who do they make it for? Customers. Now, before companies start selling these goods, before companies decide the price, they need to decide whether it is for everyone, large group of customers, which is called broad focus, or whether it is for a small group of customers, which is narrow focus. Ferrari is not for everyone. Maruti is for everyone. So when Maruti manufactures a car, what is that they have in mind? I want to sell it to everyone. That is why the pricing is also low, features are also maybe limited. But when a Ferrari manufactures a car, they're not manufacturing it for selling it to everyone. They're making it a very, very premium product that only premium customers can buy. Which strategy is right? Both of them. Why? Because strategy, what company wants to do, who will decide? Companies themselves. So Porter generic strategy says that before you start selling your product, before you decide the price of the product, you first need to decide whether it is for everyone, broad focus, or whether it is for some people, narrow focus. Based on this segmentation, there are different pricing strategies available. So we will talk about 3 pricing strategies. Number 1, if you are manufacturing a product which you think should be available for everyone, you can have a price penetration strategy. Now, what is a price penetration strategy? Price penetration strategy is very simple. Abhi focus on the green box only. Price penetration strategy means I will sell more units of the product. Volume will be high, margins will be low. We look at examples also of this. And different companies can follow different strategies. One company can also follow all strategies. I'll give you those kind of examples also. So if you are manufacturing a product for selling it to the masses, everyone, large group of customers, you can go for a price penetration strategy. Price penetration strategy means the price will be low. Because the price is low, the margin and profit will be lower, but the volume will be higher. Similarly, if you want your product to be available to everyone, there is another pricing strategy available, which is called as price skimming. So what is price skimming? So first, let's look at the examples of price penetration. Big bazaar, volume. Let people buy more. When people buy more, my sales go up. So ज़्यादा discounts होते हैं and they encourage people to buy more. Store 99, same concept. Maruti small cars, same concept. Features are limited, comfort is limited, but a car is a car. Price is low. They want more and more people to afford the car. Maruti small cars. Cost, price penetration. Now, when you look at your price skimming, now what happens in price skimming? Quality is slightly better. Features are slightly better. And because features are slightly better, quality is slightly better, companies charge a relatively higher price. आप स्टोर 99 में जाओगे, you don't have every product for only 99. So there will be some product which are 99, so उसमें profit कम होगा, कम बनेगा. But they will have product which are 149, they will have product which are 299, they will also have product which are 499, 999. On those products, they will be able to make more profit. But will everyone buy a 999 product? The answer is no. But will more people buy a 99 product? The answer is yes. So in a price skimming strategy, you have higher volumes. You also have higher margins. Now let's look at some examples of some of the companies that go for a differentiation. Hyundai cars, value for money. We will give you, we will offer you more class, more features, more comfort, more space, everything more. Price is also more. You can never compare a Maruti car with a Hyundai car, even if it is in the same segment. OnePlus phones always go for price skimming. It will not be as high as Apple phone, but it will not be as low as an Oppo or a Vivo or any other small phone. Sugar cosmetics. I will talk about sugar cosmetics as a case study after this slide. And when you look at Maruti, Maruti is one company, different products, different pricing. When it comes to a, let's say, Alto, price is low. Features, comfort, space, everything is low. But when it comes to Grand Vitara, suddenly the quality increases. Suddenly the features increase, class increases, space increases, comfort increases, price also increases. So Maruti has created two products, one for everyone, one for some. So one company can do multiple strategies, multiple pricing strategies, and they can change also. I'll give you an example of a change also. Now let's look at the third pricing strategy, which is narrow focus. It is called price skimming, but volumes are very low. Ferrari doesn't sell lakhs of cars. Maruti sells lakhs of cars. On one Maruti car, the profit could be, on a small Maruti car, the profit could be, let's say, 10,000, hypothetically. But the profit on one Ferrari will be in lakhs or even crores, depending on the pricing. Yeah. So if you look at a price skimming, which is a, let's say, narrow focus kind of an element, you have the BMWs, the Audis, the Mercedes of the world. Now, let me give you an example of reverse pricing. Now, when Audis and Mercedes and BMWs of the world, they used to have big cars. An Audi Q7 priced at, let's say, 1 crore plus. Now, everyone cannot afford a 1 crore car. Audi wanted to sell more cars. So what did Audi do? They launched a smaller version of Q7, which was called Q1, Q3. Small sedan, small SUV, good comfort, good features, but obviously not as good as a Q7. And the price also dropped. So Audi, which was, let's say, niche initially, they also went to differentiation. So they said Q7 is not for everyone. Q3 is for everyone, whoever can buy it. So Maruti from small to high-end cars, Audi from high-end cars, big cars, to relatively small cars, catering to different people at different points with different prices. Now, when you look at a price penetration kind of a strategy, where does it work? Where do companies use it? When the demand is elastic. Because companies know if we increase the price, sales will drop. Let's talk about a product called milk. Does anyone know on a half liter packet of milk, how much profit does a retailer make? Anyone? Any guess? 10 rupees, 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 5 rupees. Anyone wants to take a guess? On a half liter milk pouch, whether it is Amul, whether it is Mother Dairy, whether it is Namaste India, whatever, the retailer makes only 50 paisa, not even 1 rupee. Can companies continue to increase the price of milk? If Mother Dairy increases and Amul does not, what will happen? We will switch to Amul. If Mother Dairy and Amul increase the price of the milk, what we will do? We will switch to Namaste India or somebody else. But can you compare the amount of milk pouches that are sold with the number of cars that are sold? The answer is no. So Amul makes money by selling more pouches of milk, but the profit per pouch is not as high. Yeah. So wherever the demand for the product is elastic, you will try to control the price. You cannot randomly increase the price because suddenly the demand will fall down, your revenue will fall down. But when you have an inelastic demand, luxury cars, luxury phones, luxury villas, luxury houses, why do people buy those? For status. Somebody will not buy a Mercedes for mileage. They will buy it for status. Somebody will not buy a 5 BHK luxury apartment for rental. They will buy it for show off, status. So when you've got inelastic demand, you can charge a higher price. Higher price means more profit. But when you go for inelastic demand or elastic demand, prices have to be low. So inelastic, high price, elastic, controlled price. Clear everyone on this? Now, some companies that follow the price skimming, narrow focus. I've given you Ferrari as an example. The second is Ritz-Carlton Hotels, one of the best chains of hotels in the world. It's like a dream for people to go and stay in Ritz-Carlton. So if it is a dream and only few people can afford it, I'm assuming you can imagine the price that they would charge. Premium service, premium resorts, premium hotels, everything premium. Price is also premium. Now, will people go to Ritz-Carlton to save money? No, they will go for experience. They will go for status. So it's like saying that once in a lifetime, I want to stay at a Ritz-Carlton property. Once in a lifetime, I want to own a Ferrari. You can't say that every year I want to change a Ferrari. Unless and until you are an Ultra HNI or an Uber HNI, you will generally not say that. Now take the example of Samsung. Or let's take the example of Bata shoes, just to kind of give you another perspective. Now, if you go to a Bata showroom, a typical Bata shoe will cost you, let's say, 999. This 99 is a Bata pricing. Bata started this. When I say somebody 100 versus I say 99, psychological impact. So typical Bata shoe will cost you, let's say, 999. That's price penetration strategy. Profit is low, volumes will be high. Within Bata showroom, you also have a North Star and a Power brand. Their shoes will be priced at, let's say, 1499 or 1999. So price is higher, quality is higher. Obviously, people will buy more. But people will buy a Power or a North Star less as compared to a Bata shoe. But this company has two pricing. If you go to the Bata showroom, you have another shoe brand which is called Hush Puppies. A Hush Puppy shoe will be 4999, 5999, 9999. Premium pricing, premium quality, premium comfort, everything premium. So the price is also high. Now look at this one company. Three products, every product, different pricing. Why? Because every product is for a different audience. So one company can use one pricing. One company can use multiple pricing for different products. One company can move from one pricing strategy to another pricing strategy over a period of time. And that is Porter's generic strategies for you. Is everyone clear on the Porter's generic strategies framework? Examples, logics clear? Okay. Yes. Okay. Good. This time the yes and no's have come quickly. Okay. Now, before we end, I wanted to share with you a case study. And this case study is sugar cosmetic. This is not part of your curriculum. This is just to create that curiosity in you to start knowing about companies, reading about companies, because what we are doing as part of your ACCA journey is we're trying to open up our minds to start understanding businesses, what companies do, why companies do, how it benefits. Because ultimately, when you get into jobs, you need to understand your business. Okay. Okay. Now let's talk about this company, Sugar. Everyone knows Sugar is into sugar cosmetics. Yeah. Vinita Singh, co-founder, one of the sharks on the Shark Tank also. Now, if you look at it, Sugar Cosmetics is now known as a premium cosmetic brand. But when sugar cosmetics started, they wanted to understand which segment should we cater to, who should be the audience, what should be the price. Randomly nahi decide ho sakta. You cannot have a dream, okay, sell it to everyone, so start selling. No, sell it to somebody, start selling. No, there has to be logic, there has to be data. So sugar cosmetics did an analysis, did a research. They said before the launch of the sugar cosmetics, they found that cosmetics in India, sugar is an Indian brand, it is currently in India. They understood that either the cosmetics in India are priced under 300 or less, or the price of the cosmetics is 1,000 or more. So let's say you go with a brand like, let's say, Lakme, low pricing, or maybe you go with a brand like, let's say, an Estee Lauder, then the pricing will be high. So what they understood was that between the 300 rupees to 1,000 rupees, there are no cosmetics, or there are less cosmetics. So they said we will not go to under 300, we will not go to over 1,000, we will stay in between. So this is like they went for a differentiation kind of a strategy. Not very low, not very high. Quality not very poor, quality not very international. But quality will be good. So first is they decide on the price range, and how did they do it? Through research. Then they said that cosmetics is one segment wherein the packaging makes the product look premium. If the price is high, the packaging is poor, product is considered to be poor. This is very unique of cosmetics. This is how people see a cosmetic. Price is low, packaging is premium, product is premium. So what they did was they kept the price in that range of 300 to 1,000. They kept the packaging high end. Only when the packaging is high end, the product will look premium. When the product will look premium, people will pay premium money for that. Next they did was they launched cosmetics for men and women. Cosmetics, when you talk about it, generally you say that, oh, this is for females. No, they launched cosmetics for men as well. So rather than catering to only one section of the society, they went for both male, female. So they expanded the segment. Next element is they did not go for celebrity endorsements. They made their customers their brand ambassadors. So you buy a sugar cosmetic. I don't know whether it is happening now, but earlier it used to happen. You buy a sugar cosmetic. They say that if you like the product, please put a video on your social media or on our website. It is not compulsion. It is not force. If you want, you can do it. If you do it, we will give you some extra freebies, some reward points, some free samples, something. Obviously, everyone needs motivation. So they started making customers their brand ambassador. Customers started buying the products. They started liking the product. They started putting out videos. For every video, they got rewarded by Sugar Cosmetics. Now look at the beauty of this strategy. Celebrity endorsement would have been expensive, so they were able to save cost. Customers have been made brand ambassadors, so customer feels special. When you feel special, you buy more, you promote more. Again, an example of Porter's value chain. How do you do marketing? Expensive marketing or little unexpensive marketing? They went for little unexpensive marketing. Cost saved, customers happy, more revenue, more profit. And finally, if you look at it, they are present online on all your marketplaces, Amazon, Flipkart. I don't know whether they are on Meesho or not, but now they're on these quick commerce also, Zeptos and Swiggies of the world also, Blinkits of the world also, and they also have their offline showrooms in malls and in shopping complexes. So I'm playing in a particular price range. I'm playing with the psychology of the customer by making a good product with premium packaging so that it looks international quality. When customers get that feel, they will be willing to pay. I brought cosmetics for both the genders, male and female. I only use my customers to promote me. So I have to keep my customers happy. So company is doing their job by keeping the customer happy. Customer is doing their job by promoting the company. It's like a win-win. And finally, I'm in both the models. If somebody comes to the mall, you can buy it from there. If somebody wants to go online, you can buy from them. I am available everywhere. No limitation. So this is how companies use different strategies. So they studied the market, they looked at the five forces of the cosmetic industry, understood what is working, what is not working. They looked at Porter's value chain. They then finally came up with your pricing strategy. So what is the pricing strategy? Not price penetration, neither niche. Their pricing strategy is differentiation price skimming. Good quality, good pricing, good margins, good profit. Interesting, sugar cosmetics. And this is where I would also, again, I encourage you in all the classes, but again, it is you who have to do it. Start reading about some of these companies. What are they doing? Why are they doing? How are they doing? What is working? What is not working? And you learn a lot from it. All good? Any doubts? Any questions on sugar cosmetics? Okay, Krish is sorted. Shanu, Shaina, Madhav, are we good? Chali, perfect. So this is the end of chapter number 9. Listen to the video, complete your notes if you missed out, do your questions, clear your backlog. Okay, I will see you next weekend with chapter number 10 on Saturday. Timings will remain the same 1, 2, 3, both Saturday and Sunday. Okay, chalo, take care. Have a good Sunday. Bye, everyone. Bye, Shaina. You're welcome. Bye bye.